We are back live here trackside at Belmont Park. A deflating day for the entire sport of horse racing as Kentucky Derby and Preakness champ I'll Have Another was scratched from tomorrow's Belmont Stakes. As we take a look at the video, first we start with some video of him galloping just yesterday. The same kind of hearty gallop that we have seen from I'll Have Another in the last 5 weeks leading up to the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness, his 2 wins. Now this morning, as we take a look at some video from NYRA, the New York Racing Association, you'll see he came out at actually 5:30 this morning. That was a little difference in routine. They said that it was to try and avoid the crowds of having all 12 Belmont horses in the same barn coming back, trying to take baths at the same time. Then it was later they noticed some heat in his left front leg, and they ended up scratching him from the Belmont.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Cooling out, you could tell that swelling was back, and at that point I didn't feel very good. I talked to Mr. Redham, and immediately we got Dr. Hunt over here. He scanned him and said it was a start of tendinitis in his left front tendon, and you could give him 3 to 6 months and start back with him. But obviously he's done so much that it was unanimous between the Redhams and my brother and I and everyone at the barn to retire him, and it is bummer, but again, far from tragic, but it is very disappointing.
He will now be retired to a stud career, but he will lead the post parade here before the Belmont Stakes with jockey Mario Gutierrez aboard him tomorrow afternoon. So now the new favorite in the Belmont Stakes, none other than Dullahan, trained by Louisville native Dale Romans. Dullahan has been on a little bit of a 5-week layoff after finishing 3rd in Kentucky Derby 138. Romans has been high on this horse for the last few weeks. He thought he had a big chance even with I'll Have Another in there. Now, as I said, he's the pick to win it. Do you have the Belmont favorite now?
I think we'll probably go off favorite. I think it's a shame. It's not good for the sport. It would have been a great race. I don't know. It's just very disappointing. Devastating news.
When did you hear, and did you have some suspicions this morning?
Well, I had some suspicions this morning when I came back to the barn, and the vets were in there working on him, and it looked like they came out of the stall with an ultrasound machine, and that's never a good sign.
Dullahan, the 9-5 pick now in Belmont 144. Union Rags, the 3-1 second choice. Painter, trained by Bob Baffert, taking his first shot in the Triple Crown race. Painter is the third choice at 7-2. We'll have all our picks tonight on Riders Up, guys. Bellarmine is back in the Elite 8, and it'll play at Northern Kentucky just up the road. Scotty Davenport and the Knights hosting Kentucky Wesleyan in the Midwest Regional Final tonight. Still without starting center Luke Sprague. He is out with a shoulder stinger. They should have him back next week, though. They look good early. Braden Hobbs, one of his 8 assists to Chris Dow, who goes with the left hand, lays it in. 13-4 Bellarmine, but the Panthers tied it up at 31 at the half, over 2,400 there tonight in the second. 39-37 Knights. Dow again, this time a triple, and they are back up 5. And then Dow throws down the alley-oop. He had 21 points and 10 rebounds. 48-40 Bellarmine. Jelani Johnson with a monster game. A career-high 11 points in a career-high 35 minutes. Wesleyan hung tough. Still just a 4-point game. Dow again. Another throwdown off the Braden Hobbs miss, but Hobbs didn't do much wrong tonight. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 7 blocks. Almost a quadruple double. Knights win at 79-74. Some more hardware for the trophy case there, and they'll also need some new nets in Knights Hall. They take a 28-3 record to the Elite 8 next week.
I'm just thankful that they would let me be a little piece of this. These players, we lose Luke, they get Cardell back. 3rd game, all those things. But these players dug in possession by possession. They don't give these away.
Now, for Kent's highlight of the night, the Manual girls celebrated their Sweet 16 title this afternoon by shaving head coach Stacy Pendleton's head, and this is what he ended up with. That's what he left school with, guys, the mohawk. What do you think the odds are that he still has the mohawk, or is he completely bald?
I think he's dyed his crimson now to go with Manual. I think
I don't know if he's got to keep that for any period of time.
Yeah, you got to keep it.
But it looked great.
Yeah, you should have to keep it the rest of the school year.
What matters is that he likes it.
Exactly.
Yeah, he loves it.
Thanks, Kent.
The Reds need to be a game ahead of Washington to win home field throughout the playoffs. They began the night tied with the Nationals, but Cincinnati made its move thanks to a 2-run 6th in St. Louis. And by the way, save number 38 for Aroldis Chapman. He's got his good stuff. A 3-1 win. Unfortunately, the Nationals also won, so it will come down to the final day of the regular season. Now, for Kent's highlight of the night, Junior League Hockey in New Jersey, Taylor Cox scores, and then he celebrates by jumping into the glass, but he goes through the glass. It's funny because he's okay. What is he doing? Who celebrates by jumping into the glass? I'll tell you who, Taylor Cox, and that's why he's on TV tonight. Funny stuff from New Jersey Youth League Hockey. We search all over for this stuff. We'll be right back. On Monday night, I'd like to bring you a great play from the weekend, something that you might have missed, like former Wave 3 sports anchor Bob Dominy. He does a local radio show, so he records audio from press conferences with his cell phone. He made a cameo in Rick Pitino's post-game press conference on Saturday.
And I don't want to go too overboard with Russ, because... Hold on one second. Hello? I'm doing great. How about yourself? I'm just doing a press conference. Where would you like to meet for a drink? Who's we now? Who are we meeting? Jeff Ruby's. I've got to go. I have to go recruiting. I'll give the phone to Bob Dominy and you can ask him, okay? Thank you. Hold on one second. Some people want to have a drink with you, Bob. And they want to meet at Jeff Ruby's.
Can't see that enough. Now for Kent's highlight tonight, Brian Oakham of Appalachian State with perhaps the worst free throw attempt in the history of college basketball. What was that? What?
I'm not sure what that
Are you
was.
kidding? But let's go back to Dominy and talk about that a little more. How about that, huh? Fantastic stuff.
I hear it's not the first time his phone has rang in a press conference.
Yeah, not the first time in like in a couple of weeks. So it happened at a Charlie Strong press conference a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to test it again, see if he's learned how to turn off that ringer. I'll test it at the next one.
All right. Thanks, Ken. We'll be right back.
I'm going to give it a try. The object is to walk on water. This is the longest.
Now for Kent's highlights of the night. This is Kevin Harned, Bubble Boy, as he will heretofore be referred to, in his many falls tonight. And yes, we'll get another look at the best of all. Here we go.
This is the longest.
Can we see that in slow motion?
Yes, let's.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's already up on Facebook. We'll get it as many places as we can put it. We'll have that tonight.
Over and over, displaying his extreme athleticism there. All right, we're back in a moment.
Now, for Kent's highlight of the night, a pair of gems from the holiday weekend. First, Ohio State's Devin Smith with the one-handed grab, and the Buckeyes win over Miami of Ohio. Of course, that's one of the fine academic institutions in the nation. And then, how about this? In the celebrity game against the Wounded Warriors Monday at Louisville Slugger Field, I legged out a triple. Now, I was jogging there because I thought I was going to clear the fence. I'm going to finish this off with the Pete Rose head first slide here, guys. Whoa! Right there. Right there. Came up with a nice little strawberry on the arm. It looked pretty bad. It looked pretty bad at the time, but now it's a miracle how quickly I heal.
A little Neosporin there.
But it should have been an inside the park homer, actually, but I decided to go for the head first slide, which was much more dramatic. And certainly the talk of Louisville.
How quickly you heal, but how late you slide. That looked like you were almost on the base.
Yeah, and how late you sleep because you missed the game entirely.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken.
What a shot.
They have ramped up the rhetoric, certainly over the course of the last few months, especially over the summer. It started to heat up. Calipari saying that, Coach Calipari said, the brand at Kentucky is players first. For Rick Pitino at Louisville, it's Louisville first. So they've been going back and forth on that for the last few months.
Do you think that's real, or do you think it's hype? Kind of like Ali and Frazier.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I think in real life they're probably friends. Don't you think?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they maybe hate each other as much as it is portrayed. I think they respect each other.
Yeah.
As
they
coaches,
go to dinner together.
I don't see that happening. No, but I did see an interview a couple months ago with John Calipari where he said, you know what, Joe B. Hall and Eddie Crum do a radio show now. Maybe Rick and I do a radio show.
And there you go.
That'd be something to listen to. Yeah.